Now let us understand with some more examples. Okay, this transitive verb. Now see. For example, I'll write one sentence. Shyam plays the guitar beautifully. Okay. Shyam plays the guitar beautifully. So how he plays? Beautiful. Now this is guitar. Okay. Now what is subject? Shyam. We are talking about Shyam. This is subject. This is subject. Now plays is the verb and the whole thing comes in the predicate. So plays is again your, this is verb. Okay. This is subject. Now the guitar beautifully. Beautifully is an adverb, so we are going to count. Now the guitar. So this guitar. What is guitar? This is object. So only one object is there. Obviously it is direct object because it's one object. So when a verb has an object, okay, we call this transitive verb. Okay. So what type of verb play here is? This is transitive verb. Why? Because it has got one object here. Come to the second one. The doctor gave some medicines to the patient. The doctor gave some medicines to the patient. Okay. Now here, we are talking about doctor. So this is what? Subject. And what is the verb here? Gave. So the whole sentence is in predicate. Okay, this is all predicate. And this is your verb. Okay. Some, it's countable. So now medicines to the patient. So medicine is one object, patient is another object. Patient is direct object. This is indirect object. Okay. So it has got two objects here. That means this verb is again a transitive verb. Now, though it's not given in your book, I'll tell you that when you have one object, we call it monotransitive. Mono means single, monotransitive. And when you have two objects, you call them ditransitive. Di means two. Carbon dioxide. Okay, so di means two. So monotransitive and ditransitive. So two. Okay, but you may not do. This is not in 7th standard. In 8th standard, you will be learning about monotransitive and ditransitive. It's nothing. It's very easy. Monotransitive. Mono means one. So monotransitive. Di means two. So ditransitive. Only thing you just have to add I and you just have to add mono and simple transitive. So mono means one. Di means two. It's very simple. I think it's clear now. So now let's understand intransitive verb with some examples. Now in intransitive verb you all know that there are again two types. Okay, verbs of action. Okay, and verbs of being. Verbs of being, or you can say it be form. It is be form. Like is and are, all these are be form. Okay. So only this 1 and 2. They come under transitive verb because these intransitive verb. Why intransitive verb? Because after that verb you will not find any object there. Okay. You can find one complement of the verb or no object. So verbs of action. When verbs of action comes, okay, it doesn't have any this thing. Object. For example, if I say birds fly, it's a complete sentence. Birds fly. Okay. Fire burns. Complete sentence. The phone rings. The sentence we had, isn't it? The phone rings or rang. Anything you can write. Ring or rang. Okay. Ring in the present tense and rang in the past tense. Fire burns, present tense. Birds fly, again present tense. Okay. Now see, birds This is plural. So we are not writing any S here. Fire, singular. We are writing here S. Okay, because fire we take it as singular only. We can't say fires are burning. No. So fire we take it as singular only. So fire burns. The phone singular, but in the past tense you don't add S or ES to. So the phone rang. If I say, instead of this, if I write phone, then I will say phone rings. Okay? Because the phone is singular, so the phone rings, not ring. Okay? So this is, now see, can you see these verbs? They are changing according to the number. Plural number, no S. Singular, S is there. Singular, S is there. See? So these are all finite verbs. The verbs which change according to the subject and person and time also. Suppose if it is present time, we are writing is. If it is past time, we are writing was. So all these are finite verbs. Why they are finite? Because they change accordingly. Okay, as the subject is there, time is there, or anything. So finite verbs change. This you must remember, because non-finite verbs don't change. Okay, so this you have to remember this. Now see. Now for example, so verbs of action. These are the verbs of action. Flies, worms, okay, and rings. Now there are few more examples here. For example, give you more example like he next sleep. If I say he is sleeping. Now what is this? This is helping verb and this is main verb, isn't it? So helping verb and main verb. If I say he is sleeping, is it correct? It is sounding correct? No, it's not correct. So it is linking, okay? Link between. It is helping this verb to be correct. That is why helping verbs are being used. So he is sleeping in present. If I say he was, so he was sleeping. Now see, these verbs are changing, whereas this verb is not changing, isn't it? So you must remember that why is it not changing? It is non-finite verb. That is why it's not changing. And these are all finite verbs. And these are all action words also. They are called action words. Now advise. Even advise is an action word. Speak, run. All these are action words. Now we will learn about some verbs. Strong verbs and weak verbs also we are going to learn. Okay. I hope you understood this action verbs. Now is and are. What are these? No, is and are. What are these? These are be forms. These are be forms. Okay. They help us in using the main verb in a correct manner. That is why we need these be forms. Okay, and these are called be forms. These are helping verbs also. You call them helping verbs also. Now let us understand separately what is complement of verb. I know you all must be having this doubt. Okay, so we just want to clear this doubt. Complement of verb. Now what do you mean by complement? Okay, like when you go to the green grocer, you know, sometimes when you are purchasing vegetables and all, in the end he will give you some coriander leaves or some chilies like that. So that is what? That is complement. You know, complementary. So when in a sentence when you don't have any object, suppose if I write Sita is tired very much. Suppose it's a sentence, okay? Sita is tired very much. Now, what is Sita? This is subject, okay? Is helping verb, okay? Or this is tired. What is this? Main verb. What is very much? Is there any object here? No. There is no object. But something is there. Okay? And if this part is telling us something about this this part. So that means this part is related to this. Okay. Sita is tired. Now how much she is tired? Very much. Okay. So this is not an object, but it is something. And that is why this something we call it complement of verb. Okay. It is not any object, but something is there in the sentence. We can't avoid this because when somebody has written, it has to be there. And when he has written, it has to be something. Then what is it? It is complement of the verb. Okay. Now suppose if I write one more sentence. Children are running all around means everywhere they are running. Okay. So children, again this is subject, this is helping verb, is MR. Okay. Running, it is the main verb. And what is all around? It is not noun. It is not the name of any person, place, animal or thing, isn't it? So it is not noun. It is not even pronoun. So what is it? It is something. What is it? This is complement of verb. Okay. I think now you must have understood what is complement of verb. And suppose if I say children are running, finish. Cancel it. Then what is this? The sentence is complete here. It doesn't have any object. Okay. Then what is this? This verb is a it is again intransitive only. It is not transitive. Why? Because it doesn't have any object. So this is without any object. Like the phone rang. We had that sentence, the phone rang. Same. The sentence is complete till here and it closes. Like Sita is tired. Again, if you want to cancel this, no problem. You can cancel it. Okay, but when it is written in a sentence and the examiner asks you what is this, what type of verb it is, this is complement of the verb. This is complement of the verb. Okay, so this verb is a complement of the verb. Sometimes you will be asked in a sentence that if it is transitive or intransitive or complement of the verb, so that you have to say. If it is intransitive, then you have to identify whether it is complementary of the verb or it is without any object. Okay, so that you have to tell. So these, I think I made myself clear. Complement of the verb you must have understood. So whenever there is verb and something is there which is not any object, but something is there, some words are there, they have to be. Okay, and what are they? They are complement of the verb. So this is complement of the verb. Now it's time for you to understand regular verbs and irregular verbs. Okay, now regular verbs are also called weak verbs. They are weak verbs. And irregular verbs are strong verbs. Okay? It's really simple, no problem. See? Jump. Now the three forms of these, what are you going to make? Jump, jumped, jumped. Isn't it? P-E-D. Just by adding ed, second form of the verb is made and even the past participle, third form of the verb also is made. Jumped, jumped. Just by adding ed. Same thing goes with act and laugh, and there are many others also. Okay? Like acted, again acted. Isn't it? Laugh, laughed. G-H-E-D and L-A-U-G-H-E-D. Again laugh. That means just by adding ed, simple, these words, jump, act, just by adding ed, you can make the second form of the verb and third form of the verb. Isn't it? And this is the first form of the verb. First form is present tense, second form is past tense, and third form is past participle, not future. Don't go. Okay, so this is past participle. These three forms you need to learn as many as you can. You must learn. It is given in your book also, and you can search on net and please do it. Okay, it's good for your future studies also. So now, why we call it weak verbs? Okay, very simple. Because particular word, it doesn't have anything, and poor thing, we need something. Okay, in order it needs something to add in itself to make second form and the third form. Okay, that means he needs the help of ed. Okay, so he needs the help of ed, and that is why something when which is added to that word. So ed is added to jump, isn't it? See, ed is added to jump. Here ed is added to act. Ed is added. Ed is added. See, everywhere ed is added. Something extra is added. Whereas in irregular verbs, it is not added. See, I am making all the three forms: bite, bit, and bitten. Bitten by dog. You can say bitten. Bitten. This is the third form. Blow, blew, and blown. Isn't it? Dig, dug, and dug. So these are the three forms of this. Now why we call it strong verbs? Because this first form of the verbs, these verbs, they don't require anything to add in this. What happens? The vowel. Now here the vowel E is there. Okay? It has cancelled the vowel. Sometimes it can cancel the vowel and sometimes it can change its vowel. Like for example here, blow. See here, they have changed. So blow, E, they have changed this word to E in order to make second form of the verb. Okay? Here it has changed its vowel I into U in order to make it second form of the verb. Okay, so all these are first form, second form, and this is third form of the verb. Okay. So it is so strong that it does not need the help of any other addition. In fact, it is so strong that within itself it changes and all the muscles are there. See? So that is why you can call it strong verbs. This is very easy to remember. You can only for the second form of the verb. Third form, you don't have to see anything. If the first form, from the first form, when they have to change it to the second form, if they are able to change it within themselves just by cancelling a vowel or changing their own vowel into some other word, and then if they are able to make the second form, that means that verb is a strong verb. Whereas the verbs which need to add something to it, then they are called weak verbs. So they are also called regular verbs and they are also called irregular verbs. I hope you understood. So these are called irregular verbs, and irregular verbs are strong verbs also, and regular verbs are these are regular, very easy to make also, and they are weak verbs. I think it's clear. So thank you.